Yeah, still, it's always a shame to see a YouTuber retire. Right. I know, but I know I'm not giving up my channel anytime soon.
Mainly, you know, it's the comment section.
Oh, I just use the block feature. I run my channel the way I want to, and I don't like it.
Here we go. Now, we have a bit of a problem. There's nowhere to go. So what the heck are we going to do? Well, we have two options. We can either A, spin our locomotive around, or B, build a railroad. Who here wants to build a railroad? Let me ask this next question. Who here has the money to build a railroad? All right. We got some willing participants over here. All right. I'm just kidding. We're actually going to turn our locomotive around in a circle with what I'm currently standing on. This is a 1916 built turntable. Weighs 80 tons. It's 80 feet long. It was built up in Ambridge, Pennsylvania by the American Bridge and Iron Company. And like I said, it weighs 80 tons. Who here can tell me what animal, when it's an adult, weighs roughly 1 ton? Oh, somebody said it. Was it you? Elephant. All right. Now, can you imagine 80 elephants standing here on this table? Locomotive number 80 weighs just over 120 tons. So when it comes on the table, we'll be turning 200 to 210 tons in a circle. Now, when this turntable was originally installed in Macon, Georgia, it was hand-powered. 4 people could turn this table. Now, this is where we used to say we need some volunteers. However, we have entered the 21st century, and underneath that shack is a 25 horsepower electric motor, which makes Jason the world's strongest man, ladies and gentlemen.
Woo!
Everybody likes you. Nobody liked me today. I don't know. Which finger are you going to use to turn this table? You have 10 to choose from. That one. Is that your nose picking finger?
No, it's this one.
Oh, okay, it's that one. 100 tons in a circle. Can you tell me what he's going to do with that finger? Push a button. Jason, when you're ready, you can bring him on. Now, in the center of that turntable, there is a 6-foot diameter ball bearing. What the engineer does is that when that first wheel hits the table, it drops on that end. This locomotive is going to be completely balanced on this table. That's how 4 people could turn it without an electric motor. So what he's doing right now is his eyes have shifted to this end that I'm on. When this end drops, he stops, and then Jason can turn us 180 degrees. And now with the flick of the switch, we're turning 200 tons in a circle. Now our locomotive number today is number 80. Built in 1968 for the Tennessee, Alabama, and Georgia Railroad by the Electromotive Division of General Motors. It is what's classified as a GP38 diesel locomotive. It was the first GP38 ever built in the United States. You might see that it's actually got a name, the John H. Hamlis. That was the vice president of the Tag Railroad, and they dedicated to him, and that's actually why it's numbered number 80. It was dedicated on his 80th birthday. Now this locomotive does produce 2,000 horsepower, and those letters GP actually do have a meaning. It stands for general purpose. That means this locomotive can be used for anything and everything on a railroad. There's 3 main things: switching, pulling passenger trains, pulling freight trains. Now, it rarely ever pulled passenger trains, but it did a lot of switching and a lot of freight trains. As we come around, you'll see our locomotive engineer, if I can talk tonight, Zach. Please give him a big wave and a round of applause for that nice smooth ride he gave us over here today. Otherwise, he might just leave us here. He has been known to do that. So, our passenger cars are sitting on track number 1. Can't go back that way. So what we're going to do is we're going to be lining the table up with track number 2. And we're going to be doing it completely by eye. I'm going to stand right here and let Jason know when to stop. Oop, did he get it on the first try? That's what we call a no-hitter, ladies and gentlemen. The last no-hitter of the day, and that is a 1916 built turntable.
Woo!
And we also have a tour of our repair shop that we're going to be doing here on the railroad. Now, this one building we all call the shop. I like to think of it as having 4 different shops. The first shop, are you going to behave today, Mark? The first shop.
This thing still has a fucking EMD belt on it.
Huh.
Yep. 610 has a diesel belt on it.